Now for global business updates, Rotus Oddiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning.
You are in our studios. Light will not go off today, Rotus.
We begin, of course. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. So we kick off with oil prices. Oil prices spiking on the news that Israel launched an attack on Iran. You also saw gold climbing as well, Bitcoin falling. Now, you've seen Brent crude at 88.79, initially crossed 90, but then oil prices started to recede just a bit because it looks like the language from Iran suggests that, you know, I mean, for now, I mean, we don't know if things will escalate later, but they're saying that they don't know who, you know, launched the attack and that they will not respond. The Ayatollah, the supreme leader, his birthday is today. He turns 85. We haven't heard from him yet. You know that the G7 ministers are in Capri, the island of Capri in Italy. We understand we'll hear from Anthony Blinken, from the Secretary Blinken of the U.S. So, and we understand that Israel actually alerted the U.S. to that strike. So maybe they would let things lie. We'll see what happens. But for now, you know, we've got a number of commodities respond, even Asian stocks falling as well. You've already talked about this extensively. Congratulations to the Arise News channel in reaching, you know, expanding and scaling. Whether we're talking about AI or you're talking about, you know, broadcasting, you know, we've got across the Southern Africa. So you've got South Africa, Angola, Botswana, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Swaziland, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and of course the multi-choice channel 416. We had a quote in the press release from our Oga at the top, our supreme leader, Prince Unduka Ogbaibina, part of the press release that was put out, you know, where he spoke towards this, saying this movement to Southern Africa cements Arise News Channel's position as the leading broadcaster in Africa with independence and clear thinking. You know, we're determined to celebrate the best of Africa and tell the African story in the global marketplace. He, of course, being, you know, the editor-in-chief and chairman of the Arise This Day media group. Let's get to the artificial intelligence workshop that has, of course, concluded in Abuja. There was a dinner held here at the lovely Transcorp Hotel. Whenever I get here, I don't want to leave. Here's Dr. Bosun Tijani, the Minister of Communications, Innovation, Digital Economy, making an announcement, some, you know, pretty big announcements in terms of, you know, GPU computing power and also the bots that Rufai was referring to yesterday. We talked about. Here he is.
We mentioned the fact that 21st Century is joining Galaxy Backbone to build our computing power, spending over $2 million for just 50 GPUs. India just announced over 20,000 GPUs. That's the game we're playing in. We've announced the the AI Collective for Nigeria, which is being led from NIDDA, managed by Lagos Business School, Data Science Nigeria, and CJID. That is a funding of over $1.5 million to ensure that we continue to have conversations on artificial intelligence in Nigeria for the next 3 years. I got a message from a young man on LinkedIn titled Open Letter on this workshop. And he said in the notes that we're putting this fantastic gathering together. What if we could develop an AI tool that will also participate and be in all the rooms and listen to the conversation and record the conversations and immediately create a generative AI tool that people that are not here can actually use, almost like your ChatGPT, but focused on this workshop. And I responded to him immediately. And as at the start of this conference, we had a tool that's been listening to every part of the conversation. Of course, consent was given by all the participants. So I believe this is a big solution. Imagine a solution that can capture everything. Because the rapporteurs may not know what is important to Jane or to PAMSEC or to EVC. But if you actually have the entire content of a conference that someone can query with their own search terms and what's unique to them, imagine what is possible. That solution, of course, with the support of Dr. Ajala, was built in a week by Nigerians, young Nigerians.
So it's important to bring up, of course, the blackout that happened while I was at the workshop. Yeah, the blogs have picked it up, it's gone viral, all that stuff. You've got people saying, how can you be chasing AI when you don't have lights? For the Nigerians that built that AI bot that was monitoring everything, imagine telling them, don't build a new bot. We don't have lights, don't do anything. The Shagamu girls that Rufai brought up yesterday, imagine telling them, don't build a new robot, just, use textbook and keep writing with pen and paper. We don't have lights, don't advance your thinking. Imagine telling the Ministry of Health that they shouldn't build a new state-of-the-art cancer screening center in Nigeria because we don't have lights. Nigerians we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Power is not the mandate of the ICT ministry, or rather the Digital Economy Ministry. Their mandate is to advance the digital economy and do what they do. Power is not the mandate of the Healthcare Ministry. There is the Healthcare, that's the mandate of the Ministry of Power. Speaking of healthcare, I met so many awesome people in the AI space. Here is, as I'm talking about healthcare, Dr. Bayo Akambi. He's the founder and CEO of Data Science Nigeria. Here he's talking about a practical application of AI in the healthcare sector.
Massification of AI for social good. AI is going to bridge a lot of infrastructural gaps, and it's going to really help us as a nation. For example, how many doctors are we going to have in every village in Nigeria? It's going to be very difficult. But all the knowledge of doctors can be artificially configured into sequence of codes and model, which can be accessed on a mobile phone. And that mobile phone can speak people's local language, which is one of the work we're doing called Afro-LLM or DSN. So what that means is that even when there's no doctor, or perhaps areas where there are just traditional bat attendants or traditional medical personnel, you can talk to a system, and make inquiries. You can do better diagnosis and prognosis, and medical practice can be more efficient, even in areas where there are no doctors. That is a practical example. I call that massification of AI for social good.
All right, so it's been a big week for artificial intelligence. Of course, today is our Eye on Tech on the Global Business Report. You saw Boston Dynamics releasing that new robot. Also, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta announced Llama 3. Llama 3 is a brand new AI language they're going to be rolling across WhatsApp, across Facebook, across all their entities. That also happened this week. And also this week as well. It's a very interesting week for AI. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but Microsoft also announced Vaza 1. And Vaza 1 is this incredible AI software that animates still pictures. So you can take a still picture of the three of you, and all of a sudden, the picture starts speaking. The lip syncing is perfect. It's really impressive stuff. So we'll be bringing you a lot more on the Global Business Report about 11 o'clock today. All the recaps from the AI workshop and then all the other incredible things that are happening this week.
So you see, Rotus, what we were just saying yesterday was, I know we can still dream about AI and all of that, but I was thinking we can incorporate AI holistically across board. The grid, for instance. Probably if AI was incorporated with the grid and everything, the AI system will be able to appropriate power and say, okay, there's this area, let us seed power here, let us seed power there, so that you will not have the blackout you had yesterday. But there's a lot we can do with AI. You've talked about the robots. You've talked about applications in medicine. We've talked about even applications in national security. We've talked about even applications in data banking. There's so much that can be done with AI, even fighting insurgency. Do you know that as we speak now, there's an AI component that I know some Nigerians are working on that you can use to track transactions that probably could be money for ransoms that they pay into these bandits, and you can see through the account trail and map out different areas. So the most important thing is we should also fix the light first. Rotus, I don't know. You see, we keep talking about band A, remove energy subsidy. See, I'm on band A. I've not had close to 5 hours light. My inverter cries every time. That's what you get for being on band A, and you're getting exorbitant costing. So let's fix our issues first, and because we can do everything together, but let's fix our issues first. These are pertinent issues.
Totally agree with that. And I was just going to mention, I agree with you. I see your point, Rotus, that power is not the responsibility of the Ministry of Digital Economy, neither is it the responsibility of health. We were not saying that it was a responsibility of either of them. All we're just saying was that the nation the nation is talking about moving into AI and investing in AI, yet we haven't been able to, we don't have the facility or infrastructure to power it, then we have a challenge on our hands. And it's happened with a number of things that we've invested in the past. They've worked, but unfortunately, number one, the cost of it has been burdensome for not just the players in this industry, but also for the users, because then the cost is passed on to the users. So it becomes more expensive. It becomes tedious and almost impossible to run properly without, having power sorted out. So yes, we can chew gum and walk, but it looks like this chewing of the gum has taken such a long time that we need to face it in order to even inspire confidence that we're able to do other things and do them successfully. So that I think that's the argument for that. It's embarrassing that we're talking about AI and the future, and we haven't been able to move out of the stone age of power challenges in this nation. So both of them definitely important, but let him put a bit of pressure at the FEC meeting for the Minister of Power to do some work to make his ministry a bit easier.
Okay, let's go back to the Middle East. Earlier on, we discussed this subject, but look, I keep hearing or seeing impressions that, this is still a shadow war. I don't think that the shadow war is still on. Now, Israel has demonstrated its capacity to hit Iran inside, right in the middle. Strong signal. That doesn't look like a shadow war. It's a demonstration of very serious threat, which could lead to escalation, which means if you strike us, we'll strike you back. So, but when people say the attack was minimal and all that, Israel has been able to send its message. The question is, what is next? What is next will be determined by Iran's response. The Iranians, on Army Day this week, they were displaying their defense missiles and also threatening to, ignore the Iran deal. Now, the world faces, that threat to global peace. The bigger threat, to now link it with your subject, is that the Strait of Hormuz, which is between Iran and Oman, accounts for about, 1/3 or 2/3, of global oil supply. If any escalation shuts down the Strait of Hormuz, yes, oil prices will go up. It has gone up by about 3%. It will go up more. People are rushing to gold. Gold is safe haven. It's safe haven, for keeping your investments. Now, so that's why I said earlier that it's a perilous moment, as the UN Secretary General has indicated. But where does that leave Nigeria? Anytime there is any crisis and oil prices go up, we don't even have a capacity here, to take advantage of whatever crisis happens in the world, even when we're not supposed to be jubilating. So those are some of the economic dimensions that you can look at. Finally, India, the world's largest democracy, begins its elections now, from today, for the next 6 weeks. The final result will be will be announced on June 4. It's a 6-week stretch. The largest democracy, close to about 1 billion people going to vote, to elect people into the Lok Sabha. Now, the BJP, Narendra Modi's party, looks like they are in a good position. But what I find instructive here is the economic dimension to it. Part of the conversation is about unemployment in India, which is up to about 27%. Part of the conversation is about the cost of living. Part of the conversation is about poverty. So you see that even in India, the world's largest democracy, there's a specific focus on economic issues. When we do our own election here, what we just get are just promises and all that. And the moment we begin to understand that the economy is a major campaign issue, in terms of what will come after. So, we'll begin to perhaps make a progress. Not that when we get into government, we begin to worry about the economy. That's not how it's done elsewhere. But we'll keep a watching brief on the Indian elections to see what happens. But for now, the prediction is that the BJP will again win a landslide. Thank you very much, Rotus.
Well, thank you, Rotus, and hopefully see you in Lagos on Monday.